Okay, guys, we're back here again. Once again, we're still using our coach book here. We are on lesson 3 in chapter 1. We are on page 18 if you're choosing to follow along. You are going to need your force, mass, and motion. So we're looking at that one now. And just like before, we're going to stop and take notes and make sure you're understanding. So we're going to start reading here. Remember, you can follow along if you choose. You move all the time. You walk, you run, you jump, you roll, you fall. So do many objects around you. You can cause an object to stop or start moving. You can do this with a push or a pull by changing certain factors. You can change the motion of an object. So you can change the motion of an object with a blank or a pull. Yep, you should have said push. Position is the blank of an object, so we haven't gotten to that part yet here. Let's say you push a pencil across the desk. You have to change the position of a pencil. Recall from lesson 1 that the position is the location of an object. Motion is movement or a change in an object's position. While you push the pencil, it was in motion. Position is the blank of an object. Yep. You should have said location of an object. Next thing you can answer, motion is blank or a change in an object's position. Yep, motion is movement or change in an object's position. Applying a force we have not gotten to. How do you make a pencil move? You apply force, a push or a pull. When you push an object, you exert a force away from you. When you pull an object, you exert a force towards you. Once a pencil or any object is moving, a force can change the way it moves. Applying a force, a push or a pull, can make things move. A push exerts a blank away from you. What's it going to do? Yep, a force away from you. A blank exerts a force towards you. So if a push is away from you, you should write pull exerts a force towards you. Objects move in the blank direction that the force acts upon it. Objects move in the, if I'm pushing and if I'm pulling, it's going to come towards me, right? If I'm pushing away from me, it's going to go in that direction, right? So it's going to go, objects move in the same direction that you put pressure on. If you're pushing away, it's going to go away. If you're pulling, it's going to go closer. If an object is already moving, a force can change the blank of an object's motion. So once a pencil or an object is moving, a force can change the way it moves. So the force can change the way of an object's motion. I don't like that one. We might change that one. We're here. If an object is not moving, a force can make it start moving. An object will move in the same direction as the force it's acted upon. Recall that direction is the path of a moving object follows. Look at the soccer ball below. At first, it is not moving. If you kick the ball, you exert a force on it. A ball will start to move in the same direction as the kick. Force of the kick, motion of the ball. Here's where we're going to change it. That's why I didn't like it. I knew it. If an object is already moving, the force can change besides the way, direction of an object's motion. So I was correct, but I want to make it a little bit more scientific. I don't want to say way. the force can change the direction of an object's motion. A blank can also change the moving object's blank. Suppose a soccer ball is rolling towards you. You can kick it back in the opposite direction, or you can kick it to your left or to your right. A force can also change the moving object's speed. Right there. A force can also change the moving object's speed. A force applied in the same blank as an object's motion tends to make an object move. Let's see. You've learned that speed is the measure of how far an object moves in a certain amount of time. The force applied in the same direction as the object's motion tends to make the object move faster. The object moves farther in the same amount of time. A force applied in the opposite direction tends to make the object move more slowly, or even stop moving. So think about it. So if you're applying force and it's already moving, it's going to make it go faster. But if you're going to change the object's force, or even change the object's motion, it's going to start slowing down, and it's going to make it move slower. Say a friend throws a baseball at you. If you use a bat and hit the ball, the force you apply to the ball is its direction. You change the direction from towards you to away from you. A force applied in the same blank tends to make the object's motion, makes the object move blank. So a force applied in the same direction as an object motion is going to make the object move, faster. While the force applied in so if this is going in the same direction, what's the opposite of same? Opposite direction tends to make the object move more slowly or even blank moving. It's going to make it slow it down, or it's going to even stop the moving. Now think about different forces acting upon the same baseball. The greater the force is, the greater the change in produces. Suppose you hit that ball gently with a small force. It will move slowly. It will move only a short distance away from you. And when you use the bat to hit the ball much harder, with a much greater force, the ball is going to move faster and farther away from you. In both cases, the force you apply to the ball changes its motion. But using a greater force makes the ball move at a greater speed and a greater distance than a smaller force does. Okay? Mass and motion. The motion of an object also depends on the mass of an object. Mass is the amount of matter that makes up take an object. So the mass is how much space or how much matter I'm taking up. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. So matter is everything. Air, it has a mass, it takes up space. Everything we have is matter. All matter has mass. An object's mass determines how much force will change its motion. So the greater the blank is the change in position it produces. So the greater the mass is, the change in motion it produces. So the more it weighs, the more it's going to change. The greater, we're going to change this to greater, the change in motion it produces. Using a greater blank makes a ball move at a greater blank than a greater. So using a greater, not just mass, but using a greater, what have we been talking about? Force. So using a greater force makes a ball move at a greater speed and at a greater distance than using a blank force does. So think about it. Using a greater force makes the ball move at a greater